Throughout history, tales of lost treasures have captivated the imagination of adventurers and treasure hunters alike. From ancient civilizations to modern times, legends of gold, jewels, and artifacts buried or hidden in remote locations have sparked curiosity and ignited the spirit of exploration. The allure of these undiscovered riches draws thousands to search for fortunes that, although rumored to exist, have never been found. In this journey, we will explore 10 of the most tantalizing treasures that have eluded discovery, delving into the myths, history, and mysteries surrounding them. The temple menorah is one of the most important ritual objects in Jewish history and also one of the definitive symbols of Judaism. Nearly 2,000 years ago, the Romans sacked and destroyed the Second Temple of Jerusalem. They carted off its ritual objects and treasures to Rome, as immortalized in the Arch of Titus in the Roman Forum. There, the menorah remained until Rome itself fell in the 5th century. After that, all traces of the menorah disappeared from the historical record. There are numerous theories, including, during the sack of Rome, the menorah was tossed into the Tiber River and has since been swept away or buried. The menorah, which was made of gold, was melted down for coins. The menorah was simply destroyed somewhere along the way. The menorah was taken to Carthage by the Vandals, but later ended up in the hands of the Byzantine Empire when Carthage was sacked. Emperor Justinian, bowing to superstition that the menorah was cursed, sent it back to Jerusalem, where it disappeared, either destroyed or stolen. The Vatican ended up with it after the fall of Rome and has kept it hidden in the Vatican archives ever since. So, was it destroyed, misplaced, hidden in the Vatican? There are all kinds of rumors, so feel free to pick your favorite. King John was arguably one of the most well-known kings that England has had. He reigned as King of England from 1199 until his death in 1216, but his journey to becoming king was not swift or easy. King John is known for many things: his unusual ascent to the throne, the Magna Carta, his reputation as a king, but most importantly to us, archaeologists and treasure hunters alike, his loss of the baggage trains containing the English crown jewels. In 1216, bad King John was running from his enemies. When his army tried to cross the mud flats of the tidal estuary that Britons call the Wash, rising waters caught his baggage train. The king was carrying around 500,000 silver coins, the crown jewels and the spoils of war. It's possible they sank in the muddy waters of the Wash. More than 800 years later, King John's hoard has never been found. The Great Yellow Diamond of the Medici family originally came from India and was said to weigh 137.27 carats. In the late 17th century, when the last of the Medicis died, the Florentine diamond passed to the imperial family of Austria. At the time, it was valued at $750,000. After the fall of the Austrian Empire during World War I, the family took it with them into exile in Switzerland. Its whereabouts after that are unknown, although some speculate that it was hidden near Mendrisio. Some believe that it was stolen during those years by someone close to the family, while others theorize that the diamond was broken down into smaller stones and sold to wealthy goldsmiths of Jewish origin. There are also suspicions that it was recut into what is now known as the Yellow Tiffany, one of the most famous colored diamonds in the world. But there is no evidence to support this. Amid suspicion and oblivion, no trace of the famous Florentine remains. Years of war had left the King of Spain penniless. He needed gold. Since Spain's American territories remained intact, the king ordered a massive treasure of American gold and silver, amassed in Cuba, to be shipped home. 11 ships were loaded with 14 million pesos in ingots, bars, and coins. One of these ships was the San Miguel. No one on shore could have predicted that a hurricane would begin blowing just as the main treasure fleet was departing. The fierce winds smashed the fleet off the Florida coast, capsizing or wrecking the ships as they passed Vero Beach. An estimated 1,000 people drowned. After the storm, the Spanish colonial government managed to salvage about half of the treasure. The rest remained sunk too deep, buried in the sand and gloom. Over the years, 7 of the ships and some of their treasure have been found. But where is the San Miguel? Almost assuredly, the San Miguel sank. No one ever heard from it again. Some people believe that the San Miguel lies off Amelia Island. Gold coins, cannons, and even a jeweler's furnace have been discovered near the southern part of the island. The wreck of the San Miguel and all its long-lost treasure can't be far. Dare you to find the $2 billion treasure? Thomas J. Beale buried an extraordinary treasure in Bedford County, Virginia in 1820. He obtained these riches from a mine in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Paranoid about losing the treasure, he created a series of complex ciphers to conceal its location. He then locked the pamphlet containing the ciphers in an iron box, along with some letters and other documents. The Beale ciphers are believed to consist of three parts: the location of the treasure, its precise contents, and the names of the person or persons to whom Beale intended to bequeath it. Beale entrusted the box to an innkeeper named Robert Morris, instructing him not to open it until his return within the next 10 years. However, Beale never returned, and in 1845, Morris opened the box. After unsuccessful attempts to solve the mysterious puzzle, Morris gave the documents to a friend, who eventually cracked one of the ciphers. He used the Declaration of Independence as a key, where 71 corresponded to the 71st word in the Declaration, 965 to the 965th word, and so on. The first letter of each word was used to decode the message. One deciphered part of the puzzle read,
"I have deposited in the county of Bedford, about 4 miles from Beaufort's, in an excavation or vault, 6 feet below the surface of the ground." The first deposit consisted of 1,014 pounds of gold and 1,312 pounds of silver. The second deposit consisted of 1,907 pounds of gold and 1,228 pounds.
Different rules seem to apply to the other two ciphers, and the key used for one does not work for the others. Today, the treasure is estimated to be worth over $54 million and is believed to be hidden in iron pots within a stone vault somewhere. Unfortunately, the remaining two ciphers remain unsolved. Hey, you, solve the code and become rich. The Superstition Mountains have been a source of mystery and legend since early times. During the 1840s, the Peralta family of northern Mexico supposedly developed rich gold mines in the Superstitions. Their last expedition to carry gold back to Mexico occurred in 1848. According to legend, the large party was ambushed by Apaches, and all were killed except for one or two Peralta family members who escaped into Mexico. A number of other people were supposed to have known the mine's location, or even to have worked it. Numerous maps have surfaced over the years, only to become lost or misplaced when interested parties pressed for facts. Men who claimed to have found the Peralta mine were unable to return to it, or some disaster occurred before they could file a claim, all adding to the lore of a lost mine. In the 1870s, Jacob Waltz, the Dutchman, was said to have located the mine through the aid of a Peralta descendant. Waltz and his partner, Jacob Weiser, worked the mine and allegedly hid one or more caches of gold in the Superstitions. Weiser was killed by Apaches, or according to some, by Waltz himself. Jacob Waltz moved to Phoenix and died some 20 years later in 1891. He supposedly described the mine's location to Julia Thomas, a neighbor who took care of him. Neither she nor dozens of other seekers in the years that followed were able to find the lost Dutchman's mine. Subsequent searchers have sometimes met with foul play or even death, contributing to the superstition and legend that surround these mountains. So, is this real or a myth? After the end of the Civil War in 1865, millions of dollars worth of gold were lost or went unaccounted for. Some believe that Confederates hid a portion of the treasury while waiting for the South to rise again. Not long ago, a group of history buffs from Michigan developed the theory that some of the hidden treasures, worth about $140 million, are sitting at the bottom of Lake Michigan. A Mexican businessman buries 16 tons of gold in the New Mexico desert and then dies before telling anyone where it is. In the early 1930s, Mexican millionaire Leon Trabuco arranged several mysterious flights to the desert of New Mexico. It is believed that Trabuco and 4 other men were quietly buying up much of Mexico's gold reserves to resell in the United States when the price increased. Legend has it that Trabuco chose a sparsely populated region of New Mexico, near the Ute and Navajo Indian reservations. Red Moisture allegedly made 16 flights, carrying 1 ton of gold each time. Pickup trucks then transported the gold to a secret burial site. Trabuco never revealed the location to his co-conspirators and never made a map. When the U.S. implemented the Gold Act of 1934, making private ownership of gold illegal, Trabuco and his partners were out of luck. The gold seemed to bring bad luck. Within 5 years, 3 of the partners died untimely deaths. Over the next 2 decades, Trabuco was unable to sell the now illegal gold. When he died, he apparently took the secret location to his grave. The community believes that with today's technology, it is only a matter of time before it is discovered. Let's find the gold. A chamber made of amber panels and gems, backed with gold leaf. The Amber Room of the Catherine Palace near St. Petersburg. Petersburg was considered the 8th wonder of the world. First constructed in 18th century Prussia, it was looted by Nazi troops in 1941 and taken to Königsberg Castle, then part of Germany, to be displayed as a spoil of war. In the final months of the war, as the Russians closed in on Königsberg, Hitler ordered the room to be moved again. It has not been seen since. There are many theories about its whereabouts, including that it was destroyed in Allied firebombing in 1944. Other reports claim the panels were loaded onto a German ship that was sunk by a Russian submarine. One clue suggests that at least some of it survived the war. In 1997, a mosaic that formed part of the room was found in the home of a German soldier who helped pack it up. Meanwhile, Polish divers are preparing to investigate crates spotted on the wreck of another German ship, the Karlsruhe, which was sunk by Russian warplanes in 1945. By the early 19th century, the Spanish still controlled much of South America, including Peru, but were increasingly facing revolts from populations seeking independence. In 1820, fearing that the capital, Lima, was about to fall to rebels, the viceroy ordered the removal of all the city's treasure, a vast collection of jewels, precious metals, and church relics, including a 2.13 meters solid gold statue of the Virgin Mary. The haul, said to be worth $200 million in today's money, was loaded onto a ship destined for Mexico. At some point during the journey, the crew turned pirate, killing the soldiers and priests accompanying the treasure, and sailed to Cocos Island off the coast of Costa Rica, where they buried it. A Spanish warship later captured the pirates and put the crew on trial. All were hanged except for 2 who, in order to save their lives, agreed to reveal the location of the treasure. Instead, they managed to escape into the Costa Rican jungle, leaving the treasure's location a mystery. Many have searched for the treasure of Lima, including gangster Bugsy Siegel, but all have failed. In conclusion, the allure of these 10 undiscovered treasures reflects humanity's timeless fascination with adventure and the unknown. Each story is steeped in history, mystery, and the potential for unimaginable wealth, capturing the imaginations of treasure seekers throughout the centuries. Whether they remain buried beneath the earth, hidden in the depths of the ocean, or tucked away in forgotten corners of the world, these treasures serve as enduring symbols of hope and intrigue. As long as these legends persist, the thrill of discovery will continue to inspire new generations of adventurers to search for the treasures that lie just beyond their reach. Stay tuned for more content.